Look, subscription fatigue is absolutely real right now. Between your streaming services, cloud storage, and those premium software suites you have to have for work, the thought of adding yet another $20 monthly fee for an AI assistant, it often feels totally unjustifiable. And there's this really common misconception out there that truly powerful generative AI is locked safely behind a massive paywall, reserved only for enterprise teams or senior engineers with endless expense accounts. But honestly, as we look at the landscape today, we have to stop and ask a critical question. Do you really need to pay for AI?
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, our mission is simple but incredibly powerful. We are cutting straight through the noise to curate the absolute best, genuinely free AI tools available this year. The open source community and these highly competitive freemium tiers have completely democratized access to state-of-the-art models. We're going to build your ultimate 2026 free AI toolkit without you spending a single dime. And hey, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and keep mastering these kinds of tools, make sure to subscribe to AI by Caution.
So, here's our game plan for today. Top text and research tools, best free image generators, video and motion AI, AI coding assistants, the hidden costs, and finally, recommended stacks.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, Top Text and Research Tools. Let's break down how the big three LLMs actually stack up on their free tiers right now. With ChatGPT, you're getting access to GPT 5.3 Instant, which is incredibly capable, plus 5 deep research reports a month. But the catch is you have to watch out for dynamic caps that will abruptly drop you back down to the lighter GPT 4o mini model. Then there's Claude, offering Sonnet 4.6. This one is widely regarded as having the most human-like tone, making it perfect for creative writing, but it does impose strict hourly limits based on server traffic. Finally, Google's Gemini gives you the Gemini 3 Flash model with this seamless workspace integration directly into your docs and sheets, plus up to 10 deep research reports, which is honestly just wild for a free tier.
Now you might be wondering, what exactly is deep research? Well, it's a massive upgrade from the standard chatbot summaries we were used to just a couple of years ago. It's literally an autonomous workflow. You give it a prompt, and it actively goes out and browses the web, reads multiple sources, cross-references data, and compiles a structured, fully cited report all on its own. The fact that both ChatGPT and Gemini offered this caliber of output on their free tiers gives you access to a world-class research assistant for literally $0.
Moving right along to Section 2, Best Free Image Generators.
150. Keep that number in mind because that is the number of daily fast tokens you get on Leonardo AI's free tier. That is plenty for a solid daily workflow. And what makes Leonardo a true standout here is that these free images actually come with a commercial license. You can use them for client work, for products, or for your marketing without upgrading at all. It gives digital artists and concept creators a massive daily budget to just play with.
But honestly, if you're chasing specific styles, you've got to be picky. Google's Nanobana Pro, which you can access via Gemini, is the absolute king of photorealism and legible text right now. If you need crisp, clean words rendered inside an image, this is your go-to, no question. Alternatively, while Adobe Firefly might struggle slightly with extreme photorealism, its superpower is that its outputs are commercially safe. They won't violate any copyright concerns, and it integrates perfectly into your existing Adobe workflows.
Okay, let's switch gears to Section 3, Video and Motion AI.
Flash the number 66 in your mind for a second. That represents the daily standard credits you get on Kling AI's free plan. Now, Kling is currently being praised across the board for rendering realistic human physics, body motion, and incredible facial consistency. With 66 credits, creators can render about 4 to 6 incredibly realistic, albeit watermarked, 5-second video clips every single day, entirely for free.
When you really break down this free video landscape, a clear strategy totally emerges. HeyGen absolutely dominates when you need presenter-led avatars with perfect multilingual lip syncing. But yeah, you're capped at just 3 short videos a month. Kling AI, as we mentioned, handles complex dynamic motion and physics beautifully, but you do have to deal with those watermarks and a pretty noticeable artifact rate. And this is exactly where CapCut AI comes in as the essential glue for your workflow. While CapCut doesn't generate original video pixels from text, it is a powerhouse free post-production engine that actually lets you export in 4K without watermarks. So you generate your footage in HeyGen or Kling, and you finish it all in CapCut.
Next up, Section 4, AI Coding Assistants.
To really grasp the 2026 coding landscape, we need to talk about the Agentic IDE. We've evolved way beyond an AI simply suggesting your next line of code.
An agentic IDE is an entirely AI-native development environment. It completely bundles code completion, chat, and autonomous editing into one seamless editor. You just tell it what you want, and it takes action, writing and editing multiple files simultaneously to build your app for you.
So the real light bulb moment here is understanding the difference between these tools. Agentic IDEs like Cursor and Windsurf literally take over the editor. They operate on these credit-based autonomous modes, kind of like Cursor's auto mode, where the AI figures out the best approach to build your feature. The free tiers here give you a limited number of those agent requests. Contrast this with standard autocomplete tools like GitHub Copilot. Copilot's new free tier actually gives you 2,000 monthly completions. It's not trying to take over your project. Instead, it's a subtle, ultra-fast companion that just learns your specific coding style as you type.
Which brings us to a really important reality check in Section 5, the hidden costs.
Because let's be real, and as the source material bluntly puts it, the phrase free tier often hides the actual catch. Here is what you give up on most free plans. These platforms naturally enforce strict limitations because behind the scenes, their rendering pipelines and compute costs are just astronomical. You aren't paying with dollars, so you are inevitably paying in other ways.
There are 3 main hidden costs you absolutely need on your radar. First, data privacy harvesting. Most free tiers just default to using your inputs for training their models. For example, Kling AI has faced some pretty serious concerns regarding Chinese data ownership, which might be a total deal breaker for your enterprise work. Second, usage caps and watermarks. Sure, you might get credits, but they often don't renew, or your exports are heavily watermarked and heavily bottlenecked in slower processing queues. Finally, commercial use restrictions. With rare exceptions like Leonardo, many free tools strictly forbid you from using generated assets for client projects or for any products you intend to sell.
All right, let's get practical and see how this all builds together in Section 6, Recommended Stacks. First up, we have the Solo Creator Free Stack. This right here is the ideal, completely sustainable $0 toolkit for someone balancing text, images, voice, and project management all at once. You start with StoryFlow's free tier, which is this incredible visual AI workspace that gives you unlimited boards for your canvas and your planning. Then you use Claude's free tier for its super nuanced, human-sounding script writing. For visuals, you jump over into Microsoft Designer to leverage DALL-E for free image generation, and finally, you run those scripts through ElevenLabs' free tier for insanely professional voiceovers. It is literally an entire production studio, absolutely free.
Next, we've got the Student Free Stack. This combination securely covers everything from deep research to rote memorization, without ever touching a student's budget. You anchor your research with Google's Notebook LM, which is great because it grounds its AI answers strictly in the documents you upload, completely preventing hallucinations. Then you organize all that research in StoryFlow's structured project canvas. You use the open-source Anki desktop for spaced repetition memorization. And for just quick, everyday chat help and code debugging, you keep ChatGPT free handy.
So, to wrap up this entire contrast we've been exploring today, free AI gives you incredibly high-end capabilities, but yes, it adds workflow friction. You're going to have to jump between tabs, juggle token limits, and accept public data usage. Paid AI, on the other hand, doesn't necessarily give you vastly smarter AI all the time. Rather, paying simply removes those limits, it eliminates the friction, and it guarantees your data privacy.
The barriers to entry, they're completely gone. The tools are out there right now, and they are astonishingly powerful. So the only real question left for you is, which free AI tool will you add to your stack today? Dive in, start experimenting, and remember, to keep learning exactly how to push these tools to their absolute limit, be sure to subscribe to AI by Kashan. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy creating.